And a pleasant good evening to you and yours, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network. We are high atop the stadium here at Larry Kelly Field at Daytona Stadium. Lots of great historic moments have taken place here. One recently almost happened here. We almost had Ed Reed as the head football coach of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, but Bethune-Cookman here. Let you get the atmosphere before we plug up the headset here. And this is Treasure Coast Bengals football here on Brevard Sports Network. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by a whole host of sponsors. Big Trouble Bail Bonds, the Installation Station, Hog Technologies, Kale 66, the City of Fort Pierce, Affordable Fast Bail Bonds, the offices of Philip Yacucci Jr., Coastal Fleet Services, A Auto Insurance World, Maverick Boat Group, and Elgin's Designer and Trim. And, of course, the Mafia Pool Boy. Love that name. I think it's one of the most Pool Boy Mafia. Hashtag Pool Boy Mafia. There you see him down on the bottom left-hand side of the screen. And Coach Meach wanted me to make sure I gave him some extra love this week. Showed him some love. So, Pool Boy Mafia, one of our big-time sponsors this year, is the Bengals got up here very, very early today. You may have seen pictures on their bus traveling up today. It's always good to be early, prepared, and ready to go. And I think Big Meech has got them ready to roll here. They're going to be in white tonight, sort of white, and that off-white, beautiful tiger white, obviously we'll call it. And the Daytona Beach Bengals are your defending Fcfl champions. And let me know if we're having any problems with your signal. And, sound is, we mute that a lot of times. When you hear that sound go dead, a lot of times it is muted as we get set for kickoff. Now, I mean, we are high atop the stadium here, so let's try and zoom in a little bit here if we can and get squared away. Never a great signal up here at Daytona. We've done Little League games up here. Matter of fact, we were just up here in December and did I think we did 15 games in 2 days up here in December as the defending FCFL champions will receive the start. They are 1-0 as well. Of course, last week, the Bengals coming off of a 12-6 win. Look, it was, what can we say? It was a win. It wasn't a pretty win, but you'll take any kind of win to start off the season. Unfortunately, these guys don't get the opportunity to play preseason games, so the offense is always going to be behind the defense in situations like the one the Bengals and even the Broncos are facing. As the Bengals get set to kick off, a fresh 15 on the clock here, and we're going to be ready to go as the national anthem plays again. Let's see here. Let's see what kind of. Yep, you just can't see those numbers from up here. I wish they all had number 25's number. Wish they had Javon Brown's number. And we are toe to leather and underway here on the Brevard Sports Network. Ball fielded at the 12, across the 20, out to the 25, 30. And, and he'll be out to the 35. I'm getting acclimated up here on this roof, so give me a play or two. I'll be all right. Got to get my feel, get my touch, and I'll get it. So this is where the Broncos are going to take over First and 10 at their own 35. Quarterback is a dual threat quarterback. He will not stay in a four rush. They rushed for 200 yards last week as a team. 200 yards rushing. The quarterback had 80 of them. And right now they empty the backfield. 4 wide receivers near side. Looks, fires, throws, caught underneath. Still on his feet, out across the 45, down to the 46. That is a gain of 10 yards for a first down. And he's 1 for 1 today. So you hear the rather loud public address announcer in the back tell you, first down. 4 down lineman for the Bengals. Great defense last week for the Bengals. The player of the game was Abdias Joseph. 12 tackles last week, and they forced a bunch of turnovers in that one. Shotgun formation, trips to the far side. The near receiver in motion stops. Quarterback, little bubble screen far side, and he is slowed, immediately stopped. And on the tackle, linebacker Mike Brown comes in with a big hit, and it's 2nd and 9. So after you give up a 1st and 10 on the first play of the game, you make a big stop there. That's how you bounce back, and the Bengals have done that on 2nd down. So 2nd and 9 just underway here. 13-14 to play in the first quarter. We are just underway. The big trouble, bail bonds. Bengals game of the week, jet sweep. Nope, quarterback keeps. He's in trouble. Looks, throws. And that is caught. What a throw, what a catch. Coming in from nowhere. And, I mean, he came flying back in to catch that pass. I thought he was just throwing it away. Juan Torres makes the catch. That guy was nowhere to be found, and all of a sudden, here he comes, and that's a big gain. 20 yards and a first down for the Broncos. My goodness, that's how you follow the quarterback right there. Quarterback was in trouble. And by the way, the quarterback is number 13, William Stewart. Stewart, he looks like he's going to get under center this time. Stewart going to drop back, throws, caught, incomplete. So Torres makes a difficult catch coming all the way back down and on a little out route there, dropped it. But you'll take it, 2nd and 10, ball at the Bengal 35, 11:59 to go here, first quarter. Bengals on the right side of your screen in white. I know they look like, like you're standing on top of a building. You look down and people look like ants. But we are high on the roof here at Larry Kelly Field. We zoom in, you lose that focus, if you will. Stewart, again with the pass, in trouble. That's going to be a hold. That's coming back. He's still on his feet, and he just trucks a Bengal, and still on his feet. Look at the run. Touchdown. But guess what? Right there on the field is a piece of laundry that's going to bring what is arguably one of the best runs you'll see at any level by a quarterback back, and the touchdown will come off the board, I believe, as the white hat, that's in the area of, and he grabs the wrist and points in the direction of the Broncos. And I tell you what, that run by Stewart, great run, but it won't count. But now you know what I mean by dual threat. That's as dual threat as it gets right there. As dual threat as it gets. Ball is back to the 45, so it'll be 2nd down and 20 now. And given instruction down there is number 5, Kendrick Gaskin, the defensive end. Great pass rush they had. They haven't run the football yet, have not run the football. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen here, at least on purpose anyway. 2nd and 20 now for the defending FCFL champs. Quarterback drops back to throw, across the middle, behind the receiver, and incomplete, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 10. And the incomplete pass will stop the clock with 11:13, or it should stop the clock, but it didn't, with 11:09 and moving. Got to keep me up to date on the signal, man. Again, we're high atop the roof here at Larry Kelly Field. And this place is notorious for not having good ones. 3rd and 20. Stewart across the middle, wide open. And that's a gain of 18, 17. He'll be out close to a first down, but 3 yards short, certainly in 4-down territory. So it's going to be 3rd down, or 4th down, I should say, and 4. So a real big test coming up here for this Bengals defense. Who will step up and make the play on 4th and 4? 10 minutes to go. First quarter. Turns, fakes, tries to get outside, does get outside. Look at that run. Still on his feet. And he's going to pick up 8, and he only needed 4, and that's going to be a first down. And that's going to put him near or just outside the Big Trouble Loyalty Bail Bonds red zone here. Nice opening drive for the defending champs. Started at their own 35. 43 yards right now on 6 plays. One of them have come back. Stewart with 2 backs in the backfield and 1 wide receiver split equal to each side. And now the receiver near side in motion to stack in the backfield. This is the first running play of the game. And up the gut and picks up 1, maybe 2. Tackled on the play by Jonathan Tucker. And that will be no gain officially, so a nice play by Tucker. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Ball won't move. 8:40 to go here in quarter number 1. Opening drive, and a good one at that for the Daytona Beach Bengals. Watch out for the jet. There it is. Cuts it back inside, and the Bengals sniffed it out right from the get-go. That'll be a loss of 1. It looks like on the tackle was Selma Jerome. Big defensive tackle down there, and that's going to be a loss of 1. 3rd down and 11. That jet sweep took about forever to develop. Jerome sniffed it out and made the tackle. So this is going to bring up 3rd down and 11. And again, unless they've got a kicker, this is obvious 4-down territory for the Broncos. Stewart drops, looks, fires, throws, end zone, and the one-handed after the quarter. He was there. The receiver was behind. I'm not sure why he didn't try to pick his second hand up there, but looked like he had the defender beat, and the ball was there. So that's going to bring up 4th and 11. A little encouragement given to the defender. I believe that was Chris Wallace back there on the coverage. Just let him get behind him a little too much. So 4th and 11. And again, the Bengals with an opportunity here to make a big play and get off the field and let that offense get going. This is an 8-minute drive about. Stewart throws across the middle, and that's on Stewart. He threw behind his wide receiver. He was there, and that's a turnover on downs as the Bengals hold. And for the first time tonight, we'll get to see that offense. That was a near 9-minute drive for Daytona Beach. And I tell you, if you're a Broncos fan, ashamed to come away with a 9-minute drive and no points, but the Bengals hold. Now coming onto the field, that TC offense, which is missing quite a few participants tonight, a couple of running backs for sure. Storka Smith is out, and so is Jermonte Hunter. And, oh, by the way, they were your two leading rushers last week, Smith with 12 and 66 and Hunter with 18 and 70. So Coach Big Meach said that they got a plethora of talent. So we're about to find out. Turns, gives, and there's a big hole. Oh, my. That's a great hit, and you love to see the runner bounce right back up. Rodney Mattel with a big run on first down, and it's 2nd and 3, and again, he just bounces right back up. So it's 2nd and 2 now for Treasure Coast. They got 3 near side, 1 far left, 1 far right, 1 back in the backfield. Quarterback is Antoine Edgecombe, and whistles, flags, and somebody on this wide receiver side moved. So that's going to move them back 5 yards, and that's the thing you cannot do. You cannot shoot yourself in the foot. It happened repeatedly last week. In theory, probably should have been a 3-score game last week. But turnovers and penalties hurt them. But again, to be fair, first game of the year, no preseason. The offense is always going to be behind the defense. So it's going to be 2nd and 6 now, 2nd and 7 for the Bengals. 5:38 to play here in. No, referee says hang on for a second. My time. One of the players down on the field, you can hear him up here, way up here, says it's going to be a long night. Let's hope we don't have a 3.5-hour game. We did last week. Gridiron, right? What's the gridiron? What's it called? Up here with the good guys from Gridiron Productions, and they do a terrific job. Worked together with them once, I think, before at some youth event. It's a good time, yeah. So Treasure Coast will get those 5 yards back on an encroachment penalty by the defense. So we're right back to where we started after the big run on first down, 2nd and 1. Edgecombe turns, gives. That's what you want. First down. He picks up 3 tough yards, but forward progress will get him out to the 34, and he only needed to get to the 33, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for Treasure Coast here. 5:19 to play in the opening frame. And that's going to be a flag. And see what this calls. This is coming from the back judge. Did he see somebody move? Because he can't call encroachment. That can only come from the side because the back judge has got no idea whether somebody crossed the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a false start penalty, and it's going to be 1st and 15 now for Treasure Coast. Antoine Edgecombe, the quarterback, gets the play last week. Edgecombe was 10 of 16 for 83 yards, 1 pick, 2 fumbles. He didn't lose them both, just lost 1. So it's going to be 1st and 15 now. 4:28 to go. First quarter. Turns, gives, good run. It's a good run. So another good run by Rodney Matthau. Actually stepped out there, but he picked up 8 yards, 7 yards. Remember, it was 1st and 15, so now it's 2nd and 7. So he picked up 8. So he's got 2 carries already for 17 yards. That's a pretty good average. So 2nd and 8 for this Bengals offense. 4:20 to go. First quarter. Edgecombe wants the ball. Hard count. And that, this kept happening last week, and I'm not necessarily sure on a lot of these occasions it's actually. I think Antoine's so good sometimes at that hard count. He may even fool the officials. But I do think on that particular play, Deontay Gray got just a bit of a jump. Of course, the best pass completion of the week last week, the 33-yarder Edgecombe put up the speedy Knowles. Man, that was a thing of beauty. Knowles went up and got that as they elected to just run out the clock once they picked up that first down. That was at the end of the game. It's 2nd and 13 here. 12. Edgecombe passing down. And he does. He fires. That's caught. Nice, safe pass. And complete. That pass is complete to Deontay Gray. And Gray puts the Bengals in a 3rd and 6 situation. And again, I'd say an obvious passing situation. 3 wide receivers far side, 1 to the near side. In the backfield is Matthau. Does not throw the ball, but Matthau cuts it back, and he nearly picks it up. It's going to be 4th and 2, so I don't think you do anything here but punt this thing away. So it's going to be 4th and 2, and Antoine says, I want to go. And I think what they're going to do is try to draw off Daytona Beach here. I mean, I could be wrong. He could very well snap the football, but if it were me, I'd probably try and draw him off and then punt the thing away and try and flip the field. 4.5-minute drive here for the Bengals. He does snap it, and they give. Big hole up the middle. What do I know? That's why I'm on the roof. I believe that was Deion Swales, I think. We got an injury timeout on the field. I want to get the number. I think that was Swales, listed as an offensive tackle. Swales took a shot there. When it works, you're a genius. And right now, Big Meech is a genius. 1st and 10, ball on the Daytona Beach 49-yard line. Can't tell if that's 95 or not. And my apologies, because that man certainly deserves his accolades for that run. He just put his head down and trucked over the front 7 for the Broncos, leaving a poor safety to have to make that tackle. So it'll be 1st and 10 now, as the Bengals will have the football for the first time tonight on their opening drive on the Broncos side of the football field. We are live here at Larry Kelly Field, historic Bethune-Cookman, where the Wildcats play. No score, as you see at the top of your screen there. So an offset formation of some sort from the gun. Oh, my goodness. That ball gets through the hands of Edgecombe. It's still out, and Daytona Beach is going to come up with it. That went right through the hands of Antoine Edgecombe. It wasn't a bad snap. It just went through his hands. And Daytona Beach is going to catch a break, a big break here with 1:20 to play in the first quarter. So the Broncos, you win championships with good coaching, good players, and a little bit of luck. And right there, you saw a combination, two of those three, not much coaching to be done there, but you get it. Had a great year last year, did these Broncos. And I love the fact that when I pulled into the parking lot attendants were still wearing the conference champion shirt. They were proud of the Broncos up here. And that's what we're going to do down on the Treasure Coast, really build this up big time. Nice tackle. And that's a great play by Christopher Wallace coming up, the DB there, shutting it down. A lot of speed in that Bengals secondary. Their backs are against it a little bit right now. 1:10 to go here in the opening quarter, and a fumbled snap gave the defending champs the ball at the 26, and this is going to be some sort of an illegal formation, false start, something. Anyway, they're going to back them up 5 yards. So it's going to be 1st and 15 for the dual threat quarterback, William Stewart. Nobody in the backfield. Stewart throws wide open underneath, caught, and gets down to about the 35-yard line. Just a little comeback route there. Timing pattern works nicely. Cordell Moore on the catch, and picks up 6. So it's 2nd and 9. Ball is at the 25. 43 seconds to play in the first quarter. No score here, and that is to the advantage of the Bengals. Second drive of the game for Daytona Beach. No wide receivers again for Stewart. Good jump by the pass rushers. Gets outside, throws, caught underneath the top of your screen. Close, actually has a first down. So that ball will be inside the Big Trouble Loyalty Bail Bond red zone. 1st and 10 for the Broncos at the 15, and that is likely going to take us to the end of the first quarter. And while I have an opportunity here, I was talking to Big Meach the other day, and he wanted me to make sure that, a situation that occurred, not a situation, a tragedy that occurred recently on Dr. Martin Luther King Day. And, whatever your politics are, we can all agree that gun violence is just something that nobody should have to live with. And so we're going to dedicate this broadcast to Nikisha Bryant. Nikisha was tragically killed at the celebration for Dr. Martin Luther King in Fort Pierce at Ellis Park. And such a tragedy. And, Big Meach coach just wants to make sure she is not forgotten, and she is not forgotten. Gone way too soon. So we'll flip sides here. So Antoine Edgecombe and Stewart doing battle tonight right now. Stewart with the edge there is out that ball. I like go back and look at that film, but I literally think that thing went right through the hands there. And look, I played the position for 8 years, so I know I've done that more than enough. 1st and 10 at the 15 now inside the Big Trouble Loyalty Bail Bonds red zone. Stewart with no wide receivers again. Throws wide open, caught, touchdown. And the first play of the second quarter reigns in 6 points, and that's just an outstanding quick read by Stewart there, and jumped in between coverage and catches it, and that's 6 points. That was good timing. Stewart thought about for just a quick second of maybe rolling out, and then his receiver just slipped open there. And they're going to go 4-2. This looks like a quarterback draw or something. Nope, he's going to throw. He's going to run. He throws. Caught again, wide open. I'm going to tell you right now, and the Bengals got to get this fixed. Right now, what's happening is it's actually not a bad game plan at all. What you're seeing on these initial drives are these receivers doing these little curl patterns. They're not taking any shots down the field. When the field shrinks on them, these receivers are slipping in behind the coverage, as you saw there on the 2-point conversion, as you saw there on the touchdown, and as you saw on the near touchdown back in the first quarter. So the Bengals got to fix that. They got to come up with something to figure that out. Let me get the score updated here, and the quarter, by the way. So they got to do something here. That's a speedy secondary they got. Oh, wrong side. I'm hired by the Bengals, so that's some wishful thinking. Kickoff underway and taken at the 15, out across the 30, up to the 35, and down. See lightning in the distance. Never want to see that. There is rain. It is actually spitting a little bit out here on the field. I think the score, somebody just asked what the score was. I hope you can see it at the top of the screen. So here comes Antoine Edgecombe and the TC Bengals offense. They were driving the football last time when the snap went through the hands of Edgecombe. So they were moving the football. That's the positive. The negative is the turnover. 14:45 to play. That whole sequence of events took just 15 seconds off the second quarter clock. Edgecombe with one back to his right. That's Mathau, and doubles. That means wide receivers split equally to each side, and Mathau will be shut down after a gain of 2. It's his shortest gain of the night. And it's going to be 2nd down and 8 coming up for Treasure Coast. And again, the offense is going to take a little time to come together. And not 2 weeks. This is something that can take upwards of 4 weeks to come together before they find that rhythm together as a unit. It's no coincidence that they spend 4 weeks worth of preseason games in NFL training camps. Throws out, nice job, caught. And out of bounds. That'll be a gain of 8. And that's going to put the Bengals in a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 predicament pass caught by Deontay Gray. Third down and 1. We saw the Bengals go for a 4th down earlier, and the big offensive lineman picked up the 1st down. This is 3rd and 2. Mathau stays in. He's to the right of Edgecombe. 3 wide receivers near side, bottom screen. The give is to Mathau straight up the gut, and he's going to be out beyond the 1st down marker. He picks it up, 1st and 10 for the Bengals at their own 46-yard line, 13-17 to play in the first half here. First road game of the year for the Bengals. Deontay Gray near side in the slot area here with the three wide receiver set. And Thal now set to the left of Edgecombe. Snap. Edgecombe's going to keep himself. He pulls it back in and optioned that to himself. And there, I can't even believe they gave him 2 yards on that, but they did. So it'll be 2nd and 8. There's a flag down as well as the officials are standing in the middle of the soccer circle. Here comes the white hat out to tell us just what that flag is for. Oh, they're going to wave it off. That's always a good thing. The Bengals missing their 2 leading rushers from last week. Storka Smith, Jermani Hunter, both of them out with injuries. Jermani begging to play, but coach said, nah, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Motion, looked like a false start. They got away with it, and Matt Thal springs up the middle for a gain of 12 and another TC Bengal first down. And the interior of that offensive line right now has a substantial size difference on Daytona Beach, and they are exploiting it as the rain begins to fall a little heavier here. First and 10 at the Daytona Beach 41. Edgecombe, all kinds of time, throws. Oh, what an interception. What an interception. And they say he's not down. He's still on his feet. He wasn't touched down. And what a pick on the play. And they're going to say he was down. Wow. Great play. That ball was behind the wide receiver. He got his hand on it, and perfectly executing the tip drill there was the Broncos DB, who tapped it himself not once but twice and then hauled it in for the INT, second of the year thrown. And that'll bring up 1st and 10 at their own 35 with 11:35 to play in the half. Unfortunate, definitely unfortunate. Unless you're a Broncos fan, then you're ecstatic. 1st and 10 at the 35. Stewart, now the lone Bronco in the backfield. He looks, blitz off the corner, throws, bobbled again, and caught for a gain of 10. That play not only took forever to develop, but it felt like forever to make the catch. But it's done, and it's a first down. And the coach for the Broncos is screaming, why are we waiting on the football? So 1st and 10 at the 45 now after the gain of 10. And that hole is there. Stewart takes it, and he'll be brought down after a gain of 4. He's going to be stopped on the play by Mike Brown again. It's his 2nd tackle of the night. And that'll another flag. And this one is going against the Broncos. So it looks like a hold. It's going to back them up. So it'll back them up 10 yards. So it'll be 1st and 20 now. Second time tonight that we'll see that scenario for the Broncos. As Stewart brings them out, the referee says wind the clock. 10:35 to play in the first half. 8-0. A 17-yard, 15-yard touchdown pass. Timeout on the field. So while we have a timeout on the field, we remembered Miss Nikisha Bryant, and now we want to remember those. The Bengals last stepped on a football field back during the pandemic year of 2020, and since then have lost several members of their team. Dante "The Truth" Williams, Hanoman Joyce, Devontae Peanut Dukes, Ronnie Head Jones, Brian Triple Pryor, Cedric Wilcox, and Larry Big Man Johnson, all no longer with us. And so we just want to say this season also dedicated, the entire season dedicated to them, of course. 10:21 to play here in the second quarter. 8-0, the defending FCFL champs on top. We are here at historic Larry Kelly Field, home of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, who almost had themselves Ed Reed a month ago as the head football coach, but I don't even know what happened there. I just know Ed Reed ain't the football coach here. 1st and 20. Stewart in trouble. He better protect that football. It's out. Did. The Broncos recovered it. That is dangerous activity from Stewart with that football. He had that ball way out, holding it, and the referees are talking it over to see who's got it. If you're a Bengals fan, you're hoping for a little sweet justice here. And we got a player down. And the clock will stop with 9:46 to go.
Broncos keep the ball. Timeout on the field. Timeout.
Player is up. And it could be some kind of shenanigans going on at the bottom of those piles. I've been there. I know it. I know it doesn't feel good when you're on the bottom of it. You get things punched and kicked and twisted that weren't meant to be punched, kicked, or twisted. I can promise you that. And so a lot of times you can be slow to get up from them fumble scrums. But Daytona Beach catches a break, and I think the advice to Stewart would be to protect the football. He had it hanging out. Second now and 35 maybe. In trouble. Throws, caught, sidelines, and a hop, skip, and a jump out of bounds. During a soft coverage, I get that. That's too much to give up in soft coverage right there. They gave up all of the penalty back, and now it's going to be 3rd and 9. Way too much to give up on that. So it's third, and that's what we were talking about earlier. These wide receivers Drawing them in, drawing them in, drawing them in. That time, they didn't want them to get behind, but I don't think the field's short enough for that yet. 3rd and 9. Stewart with 2 backs in the backfield. Drops back, throws, and he skips that one. And that'll bring up 4th and 9. And let's see here. I don't know. I'd punt this. Of course, I said that before, and the Bengals went for it. But I'd punt it because the Bengals offense is moving the football. They're just shooting themselves in the foot with turnovers. So they will punt. And back deep is Speedy Knowles. I think Speedy's back a little too far, but they do have an up man, so it's in case the ball gets by. All right, I like it. I like it. That is a long snap right there, and a good one. Plenty of time to kick that, and a great punt. It'll bounce at the 20 and roll out of bounds at the 22, so the Bengals will take over 1st and 10 at their own 22 with 8:15 to play here in the opening half. 8-0, Daytona Beach on top. We got a flag down. If it's on Daytona Beach, you make them kick it again. Let's see what it is. Oh, my, running into the kicker. But I think it's not a personal foul, so it's a 5-yard penalty. And it'll be 1st and 10. I didn't see him signal the personal foul. So the Bengals offense will take the field, but I don't know what he just did because he signaled running into the kicker against the Bengals. And then they moved the football up 5 yards from the 22. Okay. Now they'll walk it back. There we go. There you go. All right, now we're in business. Okay, now that's right. Everything sorts itself out in the end. See? 1st and 10 now from the 17, which is the way it should have been. They just took the long road home. 8:15 to play here in the first half. And the Bengals, 2 drives, 2 turnovers. But they are moving the football. Edgecombe gives to, I believe that's Alex Washington. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. No gain by Washington. Mathal checks back in, I believe. Nope, he does not. That is Tommy Mitchell. Speedy Knowles over here in the slot near side. Waiting on the play here. Edgecombe going to keep it, and he cuts back, still on his feet, and he's going to pick up 9 yards. It'll be 3rd and 1 for Antoine, and we've got another player down injured.
Timeout on the field. Official timeout.
These trainers busy tonight. Hope these guys are okay. Hot, humid night here in Daytona. Rain in the forecast. A lot of these guys, they work all week and come to practice, and then on Saturdays dedicate their Saturdays and weekends to playing games, and it just takes a toll, man. I definitely have an immense amount of respect for what these guys and coaches and organizations do out here, and they ain't doing it and getting paid big-time bucks, if at all. So this is for love of the game. 3rd and 1. Clock stop with 7:15 to play in the first half. This would be a busy place next week. Right over in the distance is Daytona International Speedway. Next Sunday is the Daytona 500. Speed weeks going on. So 3rd and a short one. Good run. Gain of about 12 there. And Alex Washington with a good run. And, yes, we do have another player down. That's probably the one that Alex Washington ran over. So another timeout on the field. 6:32 to play. And a good sign, a player is up and walking on his own power. And Washington got into him pretty good. Picks up 12 and a first down, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bengals from their 37-yard line. And back comes Antoine Edgecombe. And this time his back is Rodney Mathau.
First down and 10 for the Bengals.
Throws. That was nearly picked off. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 10. And the DB does push-ups, as he should. Number 84 out there, 88, that was Keyshawn Sneed on the coverage. So 2nd and 10 for the Bengals. 5:29 to play in the first half. 8-0 Broncos on top. They score on the first play of the second quarter following a turnover. That ball's out, and wisely, Mathau just falls on it. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 17 now. And Big Meech is coming out there. He does not like that. Should be third now. And the yard marker's right.
Let's hear it. It's third down.
So it's third down and about 17 now for the Bengals. Edgecombe. And Mathau in the backfield. 3 wide receivers. Far side, top of your screen. 1 in motion. Give us to Mathau, and he is absolutely hammered inside. And that's going to bring up fourth down after a loss of 2. And that is Juan Torres again on the stop. And Torres forces a 4th and 20. I'm not sure why the clock is stopped.
That brings up a fourth down play coming up.
No idea why that clock is stopped. Nobody called a timeout. Coming up at halftime, absolutely nothing. Going to take a break. Y'all thought I was going to have some like big halftime extravaganza there, didn't you? That's what it sounded like. Coming up at halftime, Rihanna.
Timeout, Bengals. Timeout on the field.
So now we get a timeout. I don't know what there's to talk about here. I really don't. Unless they didn't have the right amount of people on the field. It's 4th and 20. The ball is at your own 28. You're punting. Yeah, not much of a conversation to be had here. Who y'all got tomorrow? Chiefs, Eagles, who y'all got? Two guys back deep for Daytona Beach. They're standing at their own 35. One's at the 37. Slow snap and a bad punt. And it takes somewhat of a decent bounce, and it'll go out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Came off the side of his foot, but traveled. But the Broncos will have outstanding field position with 4:04 to play in the first half. So Will Stewart brings them back out. First and 10 at their own 48-yard line. 4:04 to play. First half, 8-0 Broncos on top. Stewart wide open across the middle. And he is thrown way out of bounds. All right, so the Bengals have fixed the problem with the wide receivers getting behind them. Now it's wide open underneath. So we got to find a happy medium somewhere. 2nd and 4. I'd run 2-by-2 here. I'd bring in my corners. I'd have my safeties come around. Low throw, but caught, says the the side judge. So it'll be 3rd down and 1. I'd have a linebacker dropping back in coverage. Just trying to figure it out because the Broncos right now, they just seem to be taking advantage of what, and they're not doing much. They're just taking advantage of what is being given to them. 3rd and 1. Definitely 4 downs here. 2:43 to play. Yep, Seward keeps it, and he's got a lot of room to run there. And he picks up 10, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Daytona Beach at the 34-yard line of the Treasure Coast Bengals. 33-yard line. This will go to the 2-minute warning. They don't get a playoff. 5 seconds. They're not getting this off in 4 seconds. And there's the 2-minute warning. So we'll be right back here on the Brevard Sports Network. 8-0 Broncos on top.
I'm Marcus May, and you're watching Brevard Sports Network.
My man. Uh-oh. The Broncos are giving away a TV at halftime to children to the ages of 5 and 16. Somebody going to win a TV. Be in their own room tomorrow watching the Super Bowl on a brand new tube. 2 minutes to play in the first half. The Broncos with the ball and the lead. And inside TC Bengals territory. Stewart throws. He takes a shot here. I mean, he couldn't hit him any better than in the chest, which is exactly where it was. Hit him right in the chest. That ball, I'm going to tell you what happened. The wide receiver was surprised the ball dropped exactly where it did because it hit him right in the chest. Now, I'm high up, so a defender could have got a hand on it, but I just think it surprised him with the accuracy of that throw. Not that he doesn't expect his quarterback to be accurate, but, I mean, that was as accurate as it gets right there. 2nd and 10 now. Stewart rolls out. He's in trouble, not anymore. Throws wide open in the end zone, and I do mean wide open. Caught and a touchdown. He was just standing there waving his arms with nobody around him. And with 1:41 to play in the half, it's 14-0 Broncos. Nice throw by Stewart. I'm going to say the catch was made by Austin Freeze, I think. Again, I could be wrong. But he just stood there. Stood there, had his hands up. And Stewart found him. Flag, illegal substitution. And so the Broncos will have to back it up. But they don't appear as if that's going to matter in the decision-making process here to kick or go for two. And it doesn't. Here comes the two-point try. Rolls out, looking, throws. Dropped for, well, I mean, you can't run it back, but it's incomplete. But the score with 1:41 to play in the first half is 14-0. Welcome back. Alan Slaughterzinski here at Larry Kelly Field, city of Daytona Beach, Daytona Stadium. And the Broncos, we're talking about Daytona. You can kind of see the track off in the distance there for next week. I know an offense is going to have to start racing now, and that's the Bengals. 141, so they're going to have to come with the hurry up here and try and get some points on this board before the end of the half. That is a wildly good kick that gets into the end zone and out. That was all leg right there. That's wild. Wasn't pretty, but man, it certainly did its job. 14-0 is our score. And the Bengals come back out on the field.
To the 25-yard line, first down and 10 for the Bengals.
So what do you have in the playbook for less than 2 minutes and 85 yards to go? Let's about to find out. Antoine Edgecombe, the quarterback, 3 wide receivers near side. Edgecombe throws and too far out ahead of his receiver. Catchable, but too far out. So the incomplete pass will stop the clock with 1:37. I think if I am the Bengals here, I think I might try a couple runs, let that clock go down. The timeout situation I don't see on the board. Shows all 3 for both teams, so I'm not sure what it is. I think only Daytona Beach has called a timeout, but I would not be throwing incomplete pass. Oh, no. This is a pick six. Pick six. And standing there as if he were the intended receiver was Malik Wilson. And Malik Wilson runs it back for a touchdown. And with 1:30 to play in the first half, in the blink of an eye, it's 20-0.
And the Broncos extend their lead.
And the defending champs are showing why they are just that here tonight. A pick six. And it's 20-0. I was just saying, I think I might run the football 3 times and regroup a little bit and not give Daytona Beach any time. So Edgecombe alone for this 2-point try. He's going to roll to his left, looking, option to, I'm not sure what that is, but it's incomplete. So a defensive score. Makes it 20-0. 90 seconds to play. And I think I'm taking a knee here, getting off the field and regrouping. And set to kick off here. Last time he kicked it through the end zone. He's using all leg here. Watch him. I mean, it's just straight leg and toe. And if you don't hit it right like he did in that one, be picked up at the 10. This is Speedy Knowles. Knowles with a nice move. Still on his feet. Knowles will be pushed out of bounds and flags fly. I think that'll be 15 more as the little bit of sideline trash talking, and several guys are pointing to the scoreboard. Another flag flies, and another flag. No, I'm sorry. Referee was just handing back the other flag to the other official. Instead of picking it up and handing it to him, he threw it at him. So we're going to get some calls here, and more than likely we're going to get an illegal hit for out of bounds and then an unsportsmanlike. Now, depending on where the unsportsmanlike goes, will depend on where the football is placed. All right, we got a personal foul blocking the back against the Bengals. And that's it. So none of anything else that I said happened. So the Bengals will back up with 1:23 to play. Tells you how right I am. And I just think you need to get out of here. I don't think I'd be throwing the football here, stopping the clock, or having had what happened last time. I think I would hand the ball off 2 times, 3 times, and get out of here and try to regroup and get something together. I don't know the quarterback situation. Not Edgecombe's night so far, but we've seen quarterbacks do this in one half, and then the second half have outstanding recovery. So, and again, this is a unit that's going to take time to mesh. Edgecombe looking in trouble, and he's going to go down. But I think the lesson here is they were throwing the football. 110. And lucky that he didn't get rid of that. He tucked it and took the hit. Oh, my. That's a hit to the head by Throws. Dumped across the middle. That ball was nearly overthrown, but a great job by Speedy Knowles to go get it and bring it in. Knowles with a one-handed grab, and the clock is under 30 seconds. And it'll be interesting to see if they try to get another play off, and are we going to get a Timeout by the TC Bengals with 20.9 seconds to play in the first half here. And 3rd and 3. Interesting to see what they could be discussing here on 3rd and 3. I'm just as interested as you are at home. This one certainly has got me curious. I'm excited to see what transpires.
Don't forget the Bronco Challenge. Everyone aged 5 to 16.
I'm hoping a 60-yard touchdown pass here.
Right now, it's
3rd down and 3 with 25 seconds to play. Edgecombe drops back, dumps it off over to Mathau, and he's still on his feet, knocked out of bounds. Clock will stop with 21 seconds, and another flag flies on the far side. And Mathau picks up the first down and leaves himself, and the Bengals have 15 seconds, but there's also a flag down back at the 40, and the Bengals are also walking backwards. So we got 2 more flags down, one on the far sidelines and one on the 40. Here's this flag. That's a hold right there. So the Bengals are going to back up 10 on that one. See what this call is over here. That was a thrown from the sidelines. Could be a sideline warning. Let's see. Comes the guy with the white hat out of the pile. Holding on the Bengals. Dead ball personal foul, okay, against Daytona Beach. So, offsetting penalties. We'll do it again. Now I think he needs to walk 15 off, and that's what he's doing. So this should be a net gain of 5 yards after all that for the Bengals. This is home of the Mainland Buccaneers. I believe the Bucs won the 5A state championship this year. I say 5A. I think it's, what is it now? 4S, 3S state championship this year. The Mainland Buccaneers won. So, yeah, they won the 3S state championship this year, Mainland. They came down to Brevard County and beat Rockledge in a tough one, and then I believe they went on to win the state championship. Congratulations to the Mainland Buccaneers who play their home games here. And, of course, the Broncos won a championship, so two champs playing on this field. So it's 1st and 10 and 20 seconds to go in a 1 hour and 20-minute first half. Rolls, throws, incomplete. And this gentleman has lost his helmet, so he's going to have to come off for a play. Somehow there's 17.9 seconds left. That only took 2.1 seconds. So it's 2nd and 10 for the Bengals at their own 43. Edgecombe from the gun, 2 wide receivers, top of the screen. Bad snap low. Edgecombe throws. Nearly intercepted, but overthrown. And we got a flag down. My goodness. Offsides. 12.8 seconds to play in the first half. Second and 5. I mean, realistically, at this rate, with only 2 or 3 seconds coming, I mean, they could theoretically drive down and score here.
2nd down and 5.
I'm joking, of course. 2nd and 5. The Bengals need a spark at halftime. Look like offsides again. Throws. Nice throw. Nice catch. Good pitch and catch there. It'll be a first down if receiver gets out of bounds. 8 seconds to play in the half.
That's good for a Bengal first down. With 8 seconds remaining in the first half.
Now you got now, you know, take a shot to the end zone here. Because you can only do that one more time. And at the rate that clock is running right now, it'll be, 8 seconds left on it. They run a play, 5.1. Yeah, you just get yourself a little closer to take a shot and see what happens.
First down and 10.
Doubles as far as wide receivers. Mathal in the backfield. Edgecombe wants it, has it, drops it, and he's going to be sacked. And that'll take us to the end of the first half. With the score, the Daytona Beach Broncos 20, the Bengals nothing. All right, welcome back here to Larry Kelly Field for the third quarter. And the Treasure Coast Bengals will receive to start the third quarter. A pick six and 2 touchdown passes. 1 2-point conversion, and that's where we are. As the Bengals will receive, and Speedy Knowles is back deep. And we're underway. So be Knowles. And Knowles will be dropped at the 29. So a rough first half for the Bengals offense. Let's see what the 20-minute halftime dials up for them. What changes have been made, if any. Antoine Edgecombe, the quarterback. And Alex Washington in the backfield.
First down 10, ball at the 30-yard line.
20-0 is our score.
Timeout Bengals. Timeout on the field.
My goodness gracious. Come out of halftime, first play, you're taking a timeout at the line of scrimmage. That is not going to make a coach happy. I don't know. 19 minutes, 20-minute halftime. You gotta have that play ready to go. 14:52. And that's a timeout burnt. Bunch formation. Stiff arm, 2 stiff arms. And that's going to be a loss on the play. The ball carrier was Torrey Howard. .32. It's going to bring up 2nd and 11. So 3 wide receivers near side, 1 at the top of your screen. The Broncos are showing blitz off the edge on the right side. They drop back in coverage, in trouble. Edgecombe gets outside. He is drilled. Nice. He is drilled, and the pass is incomplete. Was caught and then dropped after the hit. So it's going to be 3rd and 11 now. Third down and 11. It was a hard hit Edgecombe took, but he delivered it. Doubles as far as wide receivers. He's in trouble again. Takes off running with it, and he's going to be stopped well short of the first down. And that's going to bring up 4th down and 7. And the Bengals will go 3 and out on their opening possession. And the punt team comes on. So it's 4th down and 7. Oh, my. I don't know how he got that off, but he did. And the referee says that ball is, and it is Bengals football. So for some reason, the returner tried to pick that thing up, and he boots it, and the Bengals will get it back, 1st and 10. So this is something to work with, I should say. So they catch a break and get a turnover off an undisciplined play by the return team for the Broncos. So it's Antoine Edgecombe and the offense will come right back out onto the field. And here's hoping they have more success than they had on the first 3 plays. 12-17 to play in the 3rd quarter, 20-0 Broncos on top.
After the muff punt, 1st down and 10 Bengals.
And that's just a quarterback keeper to nowhere. A loss of 4-5. It'll be 2nd and 14. So that's 5 solid yards. 2nd and 15.
Great play by number 35 with Sean Head with the tackle.
Looking to throw. Does. And incomplete. 2nd and 15, and that's going to be roughing the passer. So that's going to be 15 yards. Edgecombe's taking some hits back there, and I think that one's going to cost him 15 yards. Or it's not. Who knows? He's actually talking to the coach for. So we'll see what it is. Personal foul. Chop block. Goes against the Bengals. And it's 15 yards. So it'll now be 3rd and 25. 3rd and 20. 3rd and 25. Actually, it's 3rd and 30. 2nd and 30. False start, 3rd and 35.
Flag on the field. And that's a false start against the offense. Brings him back even further. Second down and 4 coming up.
Sacked.
Ball down in the backfield.
3rd and 40. So it'll be 3rd down and a trip back to Treasure Coast for a first down.
Defense brings up 3rd down.
I would say with this drive here, the Bengals are probably net 30 total yards on the night. He lets it go. He's got a cannon, and he throws that one over everybody. Yeah, Edgecombe's got an arm. That is for sure. And this will be 4th and 43 officially. Yep, 4th and 43. No, the PA guy says 37. Yeah, that's wrong. They lost yards on the turnover. And an undisciplined play by Daytona Beach is going to cost their offense 15 yards. I mean, that's just a foolish play. I mean, there's just no other way to describe it. I'll tell you one thing. I don't know if the league's got a commissioner but they got to figure out something with pace of play. Have got to get something figured out for pace of play. And I know it's early in the season, but so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Daytona Beach Broncos, the defending Fcfl champs.
First down and 10, ball at the 20-yard line.
Stewart, the quarterback. He's got 2 touchdown passes in this one. Fakes the jet sweep, now throws a little sweep pass. And the defense is there.
Taken out of bounds at the 19.
Abdias Joseph, the Bayside product, makes the tackle. Loss of 1.
Second and long.
9:59 to play in the third quarter. You know, he dropped it, just flat out dropped it. I mean, I was getting ready to say, I mean, that is a nice route the receiver ran there. Nice route on the tree. Got in there between coverage, and quarterback put the ball where it needed to be, and he dropped it. So this is a big third down here for the Bengals, 3rd and 11. Keep your eye on Stewart. He can do it with the arm or his legs. This time he tries with his arm, and that's just good coverage there. He just threw that up for grabs, but the coverage is there as Rodney Mathau gets up, waving his arms left to right as he was in on the coverage, and that'll bring up 4th and 11. And Daytona Beach will punt. Field flipping. Maybe that's what the Bengals can do here. They maybe flip the field and get some good field position, get on the board here with 9:25 to play in the third, get a quick touchdown out of this drive, and make it a 2-score game. They got to figure out how to get in the end zone. Well, I say the first thing they need to do is figure out how to protect Antoine Edgecombe here in this second half because he's had no time. That ball is down at the 50-yard line. Speedy Knowles wanted it. All right, the Bengals are going to have great field position here. They're going to take over 1st and 10 at the Daytona Beach 48. With 9:25 to play in the the third quarter. Got to show us something here on this drive. Edgecombe in the gun. One back to his right. Man in motion is Knowles. Gives straight up the gut. And he's going to be stopped after a gain of 1. He is Alex Washington. Second and 9 for Treasure Coast. They are in the white tiger uniforms, moving from left to right on your handheld device. And a handoff again this time. Washington carries the defender 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and 1. If this is what's working, then this is what needs to be done. I'd hand it to him again because early and often, and I don't know why they got away from it, Rodney Mathau was finding success between the tackles. The Bengals have a size advantage on the interior of that line. Now, the guys aren't doing well pass blocking tonight, but they were certainly opening some big holes in that running game early, and then the Bengals went away from it. Uh-oh. And that... not a bad snap, just out of the hands of Edgecombe. I mean, it was high, but certainly manageable. That was not all that high, and it's going to be 4th and 14 now. And the Bengals are going to be forced to punt. Looks like I might be having some connectivity issues here. Yep. Decent punt.
Ball down at the 37-yard line. Flag on the field.
We're going to switch here. Picking up a bad signal. So we're going to switch up here between quarters. Another flag on the field. It looks all right. I mean, things look okay. But that penalty is against the Bengals. So they're going to re-kick. Or they're not going to re-kick. Somebody said re-kick, so they're just going to come out and play some defense or play fourth down. I don't know what they're doing here. It's still fourth down, unless the chain gang's mixed up, and it appears the chain gang is mixed up. Tell you what we're going to do here. Right after this change of possession, we're going to stop this, and we're going to come right back with a regular Facebook Live feed.
First down and 10.
Why is it doing that?
Wrestle down at the line of scrimmage. Second down.
All right, welcome back. I'm still fighting this signal issue. I don't know what happened. We had a great thing going, and all of a sudden, they took my signal away. So the Broncos did get into the end zone, and the score is 26-0. They missed the extra point. It was a touchdown run. And the Bengals have the ball back. 2:30 to play in the third quarter. 26-0. Broncos on top. 3 wide receivers at the top of the screen, 1 to the bottom of the screen. Again, 26-20. Turns, gives, flags fly. This is going to be on the Bengals for a false start. You might just take the play, decline the penalty, take the play. I mean, if you're Daytona Beach, your defense is not, on the last drive, they had negative 40 yards. Actually, check that. It's against the referee pointed the other way, but okay. All right. So it's against the Broncos, so you take that. Obviously. You got 2x2 on each side. Bottom and top of screen, high snap. Edgecombe grabs that one and twists and turns his way into the interior of the line. And he'll have a first down for the Bengals. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Treasure Coast. At the 44.
First down and 10.
Out route, wide open, top screen, caught. And that's a gain of 15. So here you go, a little something brewing with 1:25 to play in the third quarter. And this is how you get it going for next week and beyond. The best practice is right here. Again, 2x2, top and bottom. One back in the backfield. Edgecombe gives to him. And he'll be caught from behind, but not after he picks up 10 yards. So he gets up and points for a first down, a gain of 10. Final minute of play in the third quarter. And the Bengals are inside of Daytona Beach territory the first time since early in the second quarter. Carry was Ronchivas Sears. Edgecombe throws, little crossing route to Speedy Knowles is incomplete. And that'll stop the clock with 23.3 to play in the third. What you missed was 3 plays, a really good passing play by the Broncos down to about the 9-yard line. That passing play set up series of plays in which the Broncos ended up going for it on 4th and goal from the 9 and made it with a run right up the middle. The defense parted like the Red Sea, and the Bronco running back took the ball into the end zone. 2nd and 10. Knowles in motion. Little counter play. Give back into Mathau, and he picks up 1 maybe. Faking that jet sweep to Speedy. Eventually going to have to give it to him. I'd put the ball in his hands in space as much as I could. It is 26-0. Broncos on top of the Bengals, and that's the end of quarter number 3. We get set to head to the fourth quarter, 26-0. The defending FCFL champs on top. Here we go, start of the fourth quarter. Bengals looking to get on the board here, and Treasure Coast needs a score, and Daytona Beach is showing blitz here. 26-0 is our score, start of quarter number 4. Turns, gives. This is Mathau again, and he's going to pick up maybe 3. Not sure why there's a timeout. Is there an injury? Yeah, there was. We had a string of them back in the first quarter. And the player has come off already on his own power. And it'll be 4th and 5 in obvious 4-down territory if you are Treasure Coast here. Referee says wind the clock, and the clock is wound. Still bothers me to know what happened to that signal. And Edgecombe looking, backside pressure coming, and it'll catch him. And that'll be a turnover on downs. A sack for Daytona Beach. So the Broncos will take over 1st and 10 with 14:03 to play in the game. And be interesting to see what their offense will be at this point with a 26-point lead in the fourth quarter. They went on a drive in the first quarter that was 9 minutes long. Nine-minute drive. And a scramble by the quarterback. And he gets out of bounds, which means they'll stop the clock. Well, it'll be a first down. He's had a good game tonight. 2 touchdown passes. Made some plays with his feet. $26-0 is our score. The defending league champs, the Daytona Beach Broncos, on top here. Apologize, we don't have the scoreboard apping up. Our signal got zapped. But that nifty little play there, looked like he was going to be sacked. Comes up, throws a little crossing route, completes it, picks up 6, 2nd and 4. Unorthodox, but it works. Ball is dead on the 50. Five linemen. Actually, that's a cornerback creeping up. 4 down linemen. The receiver was open across the middle. But the defensive tackles for the Bengals came through, got their hands up, and deflected the pass. That'll bring up 3rd and 4. Whistles. And a false start. So it'll be 3rd and 10 now. 26-0. Apologize, we don't have the scoreboard app up. So if anybody asks what the score is and I miss it in the comment section, I'm trying to repeat it about every 90 seconds. Please let them know. We are live at Larry Kelly Field, home of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. 3rd and 9 now. 5 wide receiver set. Throws. Intercepted. Great interception. Just a great pick in the top right of your screen. And that pick by Chris Wallace. Wallace gets the pick. And the Bengals will take over 1st and 10. Threw that ball in a double coverage. Wallace went up and got it. It's a nice play by him. Nice little underneath route. And out of bounds. Good run, good catch, good throw. Not sure who it was. Can't see the number over here. Those numbers, they do not hit well 5 stories up. But it was a great catch. Edgecombe in trouble, and down he goes. And a good job protecting the football that time. Quarterback sack. That'll be a loss of 5. And it'll be 6, so it'll be 2nd and 16 now. It's a coverage sack. So all the receivers were covered downfield. 11:20 to play in the game, 26-0. Daytona Beach on top. And that's going to be a gain of 1. And you think he got rolled up on that time, Edgecombe. And he's down. He's up. He's tough. He's taking a lot of hits tonight. He says, I'm all right. Referee's timeout on the field with 10:49 to play in the game. It's 26-0. Referee blows his whistle. Clock starts. Who is in at quarterback right now? Nobody knows what the play is. Everybody's holding their hands up. Looks like it's going to be Speedy Knowles. Some sort of a wildcat set, I think. I think they got 12 guys on the field. No, they have 11. Ball's dropped, still out. And that'll be a loss of 4. And it'll be 3rd down and 10 now. And the Bengals will punt. Daytona Beach has gotten close to blocking it a lot tonight on several instances. I have no idea how that ball got off the foot. Of Justin Walther, he's the kicker. So Walther with a man back deep. And this one just goes straight up in the air and takes a bounce, and that's going to be a punt of 6 yards. And the Broncos will take over 1st and 10 at the Bengals' 49-yard line. Be a busy week of practice this week. Some things to tune up, some things to take care of, obviously. But again, just the second game of the year. No need to panic. They'll be 1-1 after tonight. Next week, they're going to host the Dolphins at home. We'll be there for that one. We know our signal works for 4 quarters there. 1st and 10. 8:51 to play in the game. The Daytona Beach Broncos have led this thing from start to now. Just a straight dive for a gain of 2 yards. 2nd and 8. And we'll see if Daytona learned their lesson throwing balls deep into double coverage following the interception on their last possession with a 26-point lead. Hand the football off and run the clock out. Seems like the logical thing to do. 2nd and 8. Turns, gives. Nice tackle on the inside. You get a good punt off here. You flip the field. You've pinned them back and done your job with a 4-score lead. Your defense has been outstanding all night. Run the football. 3rd and 7. 7:40 to play in the game. Ball's out, and recovered by the Broncos. Quarterback tried to hand the ball off before he had it. And that'll bring up 4th and 6. Yep, he tried to hand it off before he had it that time. So they'll punt, and Knowles will drop back deep with 6:50 to play in the game. I don't know that if you have another quarterback with Edgecombe hobbling off on the last drive, if he's your guy this year, you've already suffered two big injuries last week with 2 of your running backs, and you may want to call it a night for Edgecombe with 6 minutes to play. Or, if he's healthy, then work on some things. Get some stuff ready to go for the Dolphins next week. Good snap. Great punt. Will bounce at just dies at the 19. Picked up for some reason and loses a yard or 2, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the 16. 5:56 to play in the game. It's been all Daytona Beach as they lead it 26-0. Could be, depending on what happens here, the final possession of the night. I would treat it that way. So I'd get out here and try to get some things done for sure. And it is Edgecombe back at quarterback. And a good run there. That's the longest play of the night for the Bengals. A gain of 19 and a first down. The longest run of the night, longest play of the night. First and 10 at the 37. Edgecombe time, lets it launch. Open, tipped, caught. What a catch. That's a great catch. He's in bounds. You can see it from here. Just an outstanding catch. Got those feet down. And that is number 10 on the catch. What a catch. Cameron Webb with that catch. Tiptoed the sideline and hauled it in. That becomes the longest play of the night. 36 yards to Cameron Webb from Edgecombe, Antoine Edgecombe, and it's a timeout on the field with 5 minutes to go. The defender got a hand on it. Not only did he have the wherewithal to haul it in, but he had the concentration to toe the sidelines. Great catch. That's the highlight of the night so far for the Bengals. So here we go. First and 10. Can the Bengals crack the goose egg on the board? Or will the Broncos defense rise up and deny them? We're about to find out here. Edgecombe with double split equal to each side. Rolls to his right. Looks, fires, tipped. And incomplete. So second and 10 now from the 26. Bengals in white, tiger white. Moving from right to left. They are approaching Big Trouble Loyalty Bail Bonds red zone. Unless they get an engine thrown across the middle. Nice pitch and catch down to the 4-yard line. Nice crossing route. Great completion. And a great scoop, and I believe that was one more time Cameron Webb. Dragged down at the 8 is Mathau. Bring up second down and goal. The ball is definitely now inside the Big Trouble Loyalty Bail Bonds red zone. .357 to play in the game. 26-0. Daytona Beach on top. Second and goal. Quarterback keeper like Elway used to do it. Up the middle, down to the 2-3 yard line. 3rd and goal. Can they get in here? 2 more downs to give it a shot. Nice run by Edgecombe. And the Bengals want to put a score on the board, that's for sure. Clock running, 3:13 to go. This is a good way to end a game where a lot did not go right. Turns, gives, outside, and he stopped. And it's going to be 4th and goal. And this will be the most intense play of the night that we see. And we should have a timeout. And we got an injury timeout on the field, so that'll stop the clock, and the Bengals will get to talk it over. So what will the Broncos defense do to try to keep the Bengals offense out and keep that goose egg on the board? 2:55 to play, and more than likely this is their last opportunity at a shot at it. Started off a little hairy in terms of the weather. It was raining a little bit, pretty steady for about 20 minutes, and then it just went away. If you know anything about Daytona in February, it rains a lot. Always seems to 500 always seems to be in a rain delay. Speaking of the 500, it's going to take place right over there next week. Right there's Daytona International Speedway. Players still down on the field. So I would imagine what we're going to see if they score is an onside kick too. Why not practice that as well? Now is the time to try it, because you're always going to need it. Players start to come out on the field, and the referee waves them back. And I hope he's okay. I'm not sure who that is. Turn our cameras away. Both training staffs are out there. Looks like to be some sort of a lower leg injury. And the paramedics have hopped to their feet over there where they parked the Daytona Beach Fire Department ambulance. I hope they don't need to back that up. But they are here on standby should they have to. Player is talking and communicating with the training staff, so not sure who it is. Don't have a field reporter tonight, doing it all by myself here tonight at Larry Kelly Field. They're asking for water now. It is a Bengal. Not sure what happened. It seemed like a relatively ordinary play. Didn't see an abnormal hit or twist and a turn. Clock is stopped with 2:55 to play in the game, and the player is up, and he is going to be helped off the field. So he is coming off with assistance, but he is up, and that's good news. Bengals beat up football team coming into this week, as we stated. Storches Smith and Hunter missing. And this is going to be 4th down and goal, so we'll see what, if any, effect did the delay have on either of these teams. Were Daytona able to catch their breath? It certainly has zapped the intensity of the drive out. 4th and goal from the 2:55 to play in the game. One more guaranteed clock stoppage at the 2-minute warning. 26-0. The Daytona Beach Broncos on top. And will the Bengals crack the scoreboard tonight? We're going to find out on this play here. Edgecombe under center. Turns, gives. No, he's not. And that defense, or does he get in? Touch. No. They say he stopped. Well, I thought he got in, but he did not. And a goal line stand by the by the Broncos, and the Bengals come up a half yard short. And a good stop there by that Broncos defense after giving up 2 big plays. They shut the door on 4th and goal from the 2. Looks like they gave up 1 yard. Now to be 1st and 10 from the 1. The good news is you stop them. The bad news is it's 1st and 10 from the 1. But with a 26-point lead and 2:46 to play, I don't really think it's an issue. Nice job on the drive, though. Got to finish, and I'm sure Coach Big Meech will talk about that this week with the team. Got to finish. Turnovers, penalties, another issue, another big issue tonight for the TC Bengals. It's a new football team, first year back after taking off 3 years for the pandemic. They essentially, you want to count the pandemic here. I think they played 3 or 4 games, but anyway, so 3 years in hiatus. Got a win under their belt already, so they're just going to take. Not sure what that was. Flags are flying. Could it be offsides? If it is, they're going to buy some room. And it is offside, so the Bengals have let them out from the shadows of the goalpost on their backs, literally. 1st and 5 now from the 6. And that's what we're talking about, penalties. Penalties, turnovers. Last week it did not hurt them. Tonight it does. One of those turnovers, a pick 6. .242 to play. I would imagine once we get to the 2-minute warning, it's going to become knee time. Straight handoff. And that's a horse collar. And that'll be 15 more yards. So, after the 15-yard tack on, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 18. Can't grab the guy and throw him down by the horse collar. Can't do it.
Personal foul on the defense. That's good for the Broncos. First down.
So the Broncos have literally gained 20 yards. Or, I'm sorry, have gained 15 yards and have run one play that didn't count. 1st and 10 at the 16. They're still hitting. That's what I like to see. No quit and straight ahead. And that should take us to the 2-minute warning.
Great run for a gain of 6 on the play.
And there is the 2-minute warning. And we'll be right back with the final 2 minutes of this one. Broncos 26, Bengals nothing. All right, final 2 minutes here, 1:59 to be exact. I don't see a victory formation, but quarterback's just going to keep it, and he's into the line, and down he goes. Third and 5. So I guess they couldn't do victory formation. My bad. I thought it was first down. 3rd and 5. And they're going to let this clock run all the way down as far as they can. 90 seconds to go. Again, the quarterback will keep. And that's the game. That's the first down. And that'll be the final play of the game. Want to thank all of our sponsors. And, of course, Big Trouble Loyalty Bail Bonds. And want to thank Big Meats for letting us do these. We'll be back with you next week from Fort Pierce, as the Bengals will look to move to 2-1 as they take on the South Florida Dolphins. And he'll take a knee, and that'll do it. So your final score will be Daytona Beach 26 and the Treasure Coast Bengals nothing. They don't even need to snap it again. And that'll do it. Your final score one more time. The Daytona Beach Broncos, the defending champs, moved to 2-0. The Treasure Coast Bengals dropped to 1-1. Daytona 26, Treasure Coast nothing. Have a great night, everybody.